You're not supposed to feel ready. You're not supposed to feel qualified enough in taking that next step in pursuing your dream career and pursuing your dream life. You should not feel ready. It is not normal to feel ready. I don't think we'll ever feel ready. I think feeling ready or feeling like in the future we'll be ready or we'll be qualified enough is all it is all fear. It is all fear just disguising itself and telling us that in this present moment is not the time to make that step, is not the right time to pursue our dream. Because if not now, then when? If you don't take any steps to achieve the life you want to, then how will you gain the knowledge and the readiness in order to pursue your career, your dream life? It's all an illusion. It is all fear. I think. I think what would make you feel ready, what would make you feel qualified enough is actually going out and taking that step, eliminating the fear, choosing to not listen to that fearful voice in your head. Take me for example, I can hear many thoughts telling me that I'm not qualified enough or I'm not ready enough or I don't speak clearly enough or I haven't been through enough life experiences or I'm not intelligent enough to make videos, I'm not qualified enough. I hear those thoughts and sometimes logically they make sense, right? Because what do I know? What do I know? I know I'm not the clearest speaker, from I can look in my past situations and my past interactions. I know I'm not the clearest speaker. I know maybe I get a little awkward. Sometimes I don't get my point across, and I could use that as an excuse for me not being ready or qualified enough, but I choose not to listen to the fear. I think that's the most important thing. You need to make the conscious decision to not listen to that doubtful voice in your head that has keep that has been keeping you stagnated in your life, that has kept you in one spot while time has just passed you over. You need to make the conscious decision every second, every minute, every hour, every day of your life. Because that's what it's going to take, is choosing to not listen to the fear. I think the fear will always be there. The thoughts, especially when you're trying something new, you'll be uncomfortable and the fearful thoughts will come in. Yes, I'm not saying that all of a sudden just imagine your life with no fear, but you need to now choose not to be fearful. It's not easy, I know, because we've lived our whole lives listening to this silent voice in our head that has kept us stuck. The silent voice that says, oh, not yet. Oh, maybe when blah, blah, blah. When you're this and when you're that and when you've gained this and when you have this, then you'll be ready. But that is all an illusion of fear. And I think the biggest thing is that we really don't like, me personally, it's not like I sat in my room and agreed with those thoughts and said, you know what, you're right. Like I can't do this. I never said I can't do this. I never admitted to it, but subconsciously through my actions and through the thoughts that I believed in, I was choosing that. I was choosing to be fearful subconsciously. I think that's the thing. I think most of us don't consciously choose to be fearful. We don't want to be stuck in the same place. We don't want to be held back. But it's that subconscious that wants our scenario and all of our qualifications and capabilities to be perfect to our standards to be able to take that first step in pursuing that career. But I think it's a paradox. I don't know if I'm using that word right, but it's a paradox as in that thinking that you need to be qualified enough is just keeping you in that state of not feeling qualified because you don't go out and you don't learn and you don't put yourself in uncomfortable situations. I think you need to feel uncomfortable. Uncomfortability is a good signal that you're doing the necessary steps in what you want to pursue. Cause right now I'm a little uncomfortable. I'm just talking to a screen in my room, wondering if can get this message across clearly. Like this is a little uncomfortable, but I'm choosing not to believe in those thoughts. I'm choosing that I will no longer choose and believe those fearful thoughts. I am consciously choosing not to. And I'm just going out there. And even if I think that I'm not getting the message across clearly, or if my videos kind of suck and they're not up to this standard that we put on ourselves, guess what? I'm going to still post it because I know these are the necessary steps. Taking actual action, putting something out physically into the world is the necessary steps. Instead of ruminating on these thoughts that you need to be this and that in order to feel worthy enough to go out and pursue whatever you want to pursue. So I think it's all fear. I think you just need to do it. It's as simple as that. You need to make the choice and just simply do it. Because it sounds cliche, but there's no better time than now. And I know that phrase kind of overwhelmed me because I didn't feel ready in the moment. But I subconsciously chose not to be ready in that moment by listening to these doubtful thoughts. And I think you really need to pay attention and analyze your thoughts because these doubtful thoughts, they're silent, but they will dictate your life. So really, when you're thinking and you're in your thoughts and there's any doubt or any fear or any I'm not good enough, I can't do this, you just need to choose to not believe it. It is a choice. Because naturally our brains, naturally our brains just don't want us to do anything, it feels like. Any courage and action and putting ourselves out there and trying something new, like our brain just hates it. And I think it hates it because we've gone years not understanding, being aware of these fearful, doubtful thoughts. It's just become our normal. It's become who we've identified with. And once we kind of realize these thoughts and kind of expose them for what they are, what I do, I like to think about all the fear, all the excuses, all the things that have held me back, all those thoughts. I like to write them down, either in the notes app or on a piece of paper. I write them down and I just look at them and read them from a different perspective. And you soon realize that all of these doubtful thoughts are all kind of fake. Like they are not physically real. They cannot physically hold you back from taking action. You can't touch this fear. You can't grab onto your fears and doubts. It is all something that your mind has created. It is an illusion. It is all an illusion in your head. So we must choose to not listen to the fear, not to listen to the doubt, because I think, at least with me, the fearful and doubtful thoughts, they're always going to be there. I feel like there's always going to be a voice telling me, you're not ready. What do you know? You can't speak clearly. You're not intelligent enough to get your message across. But you need to understand that that's all an illusion. Those thoughts aren't keeping you safe. They're keeping you held back from the person you know you're going to be. So expose these fearful thoughts, write them down in your notes app, analyze them, understand, talk to them, get to know where this fear and doubt comes from. Maybe experiences you've had in the past that have made you doubt your own abilities, or maybe observations you've made of other people. I think for me, one thing that has kind of kept me back, and once you write down these fears, you start to realize how illogical they sound. Like they're not even valid. Like they sound kind of dumb. Like for me, one thing was seeing how, I guess, limited success is in my eyes. Like I think of people, let's say in my high school class, I think how many people are going to succeed and achieve their dream life, and how many are just going to work jobs that they hate? Or how many people out there, let's take it to the road. How many cars out there are just old cars, people who are barely scraping by trying to, let's say pay off their car, or they can't afford a newer car, versus how many nice cars you see. And I know nice cars don't mean success. That is just an image. That is just, if I know, but that's what I'm saying. These fears are illogical, but our brains make them feel real. And I always think how, if success is so rare and mediocrity is so common, and I'm just one person in this society, what is the likelihood of me becoming successful? And I always thought it was low because I'm just one person in this whole pot, in this whole pot of balls. I'm just one person. I'm like, damn, how am I gonna be successful? Like, why me? But that is what's held me back, those illogical fears. So write down some of your biggest reasons and excuses on your fears, just fears. Pay attention to your thoughts, and whatever thoughts pop up the most that revolve around fear and doubt, write those down and expose them, and you'll see that most of your doubts are not valid. I guarantee you 100% of them are not valid, because you can do whatever you want. It is your own self holding you back. Because I guarantee you, it is, no, this is a fact. It is your own mind holding you back, and you've been believing this thought for so long that it feels real. And you can't convince me otherwise, unless when you try to go on and pursue your dream, a physical force is holding you back. Unless I see a invisible force holding you back and restricting you against your own will when you're trying to pursue your dreams, then I'll believe that your doubts and your fears and your limitations about yourself are real. But until then, it is all in your mind. And it all starts in here. You need to choose to not give energy to the fear and the doubt.